Today I'm going to talk about an anime that Charlie Kelly would get pretty hyped for. That is due in fact to this anime being about ghouls. So I'm going to start getting hyped about Tokyo Ghoul right about now. I should probably start off by telling you all what the show's about. The show starts off with this guy named Ken at a coffee shop with his best friend, and they're just talking and all. And his best friend's like, "Yo, that girl over there, she's pretty hot though." And then Ken's like, "Yeah, I think so too." Then his friend's like, "Go talk to her." And then Ken's like, "Nah, I'm not hype enough though." And it's like, "Nah, you're plenty hype, dude." So then he goes over there and he asks the girl out, and then they go on a date. Their date ends up taking them to a construction site where this girl tries to murder him because it turns out she's some sort of monstrosity known as a ghoul. You see, the ghouls are a kind of subspecies of human. They're pretty much the same except for the fact that they have like red eyes and eat people. And that's about it. And somehow they've been able to just kind of live within normal people society for hundreds of years with no actual issues. So while at the construction site, she tries to eat him, and she fails, and then ends up dying because a bunch of construction equipment like fall down on both of them. And then Ken, our main character, wakes up in hospital and finds out that half of his internal organs have been replaced with the ghoul girls, and he is half ghoul now. So he goes to McDonald's and buys a hamburger, and it tastes terrible. And then he learns that the only thing that he can eat now is people, because all of the normal food tastes bad, I guess. And you can't eat bad tasting food. So then the story goes out to set up there's multiple factions of ghouls, but it mainly focuses on two. One is good ghouls who like live in a coffee shop and help Ken come to terms with the fact that he now has to eat people. Then the other faction are a bunch of dicks who are just like, nah, being a ghoul is cool in the school. There's no rules if you're a ghoul. So the show at this point is mainly Ken learning from the coffee shop ghouls how to ghoul and how to creep along like an actual ghoul. Until yeah, so Ken gets kidnapped like a lot in this show. Like in the coffee shop ghouls are constantly need to save him because he gets like kidnapped every other episode. Oh, then there's this one guy who I think has blue hair that's like he really loves food. And since he's a ghoul, food is people. But he's like really into food. Like he gets high off of food, I guess. And he really wants to eat Ken because Ken's part human and part ghoul. And ghouls aren't supposed to eat other ghouls. But since he's part human, it's okay, I guess. So that blue hair guy is one of the many people who kidnap Ken. And like, okay, you could probably find a ton of gifs about this blue-haired guy on the internet. I can't really remember his name, but I remember one scene where he purposefully makes Ken's hand get cut on broken glass just so he can take a napkin and swipe up the blood and go into a bathroom and snort it because he's a freak. He's just loving it in the bathroom, and Ken's just like waiting for the guy to come back. And he probably doesn't even come back for like another 3 hours. I can picture Ken just sitting in the restaurant just waiting for this dude to come back. And all the dudes is probably in the bathroom stoned out of his mind because of like Ken's magical melty blood. Oh, it sounds like people are moving the things outside. So anyway, the first half of the show is Ken getting a handle on his ghoul powers while being kidnapped by Mr. Snort's Blood and also another dude named like Jason, Like, that's not his actual name, but everyone calls him Jason because he walks around with a hockey mask and pretty much just murders people. Oh, and also Ken, like, occasionally will have hallucinations about the one ghoul girl that tried to kill him in the first episode, and like, this is never really explained if it's like a mental issue or if like actually having someone's organs in your body makes half of their consciousness transfer over to you. But around episode 13 is, I think it's 13, is when things start really shaking up. Like, Ken gets kidnapped in like 3 episodes beforehand and just held like by the bad ghouls for like maybe 3, 4 episodes. Just being tortured all the while the coffee shop ghouls are freaking out and trying to figure out where he is. I left out a really big part. Besides the 2 ghoul factions, there's also these like special ghoul cops that are like normal humans that hunt down ghouls. And like their whole deal is like they just wear suits and carry around briefcases, but each of their briefcases has like transforming anti-ghoul weaponry, and the weapons are made out of like body parts from the ghouls. Since beside, like the ghouls' power sets are like they're kind of like how modern vampires are, like super strong and super fast. They got all that stuff. Plus they also have like prototype morphing powers with certain limbs, so they can make blades or like tendrils and things like that. And that's how the ghouls end up killing a lot of people because they can just make weapons from their body. And this special anti-ghoul task force among the police will take ghoul parts, like from defeated ghouls, and just turn them into like usable weapons. And they'll use those to fight the ghouls. And they carry these weapons in briefcases. And the like top officer for these anti-ghoul squad is this one crazy dude with white hair and a white coat. He's just some old man who's like constantly like, yeah, I'm crazy, yeah, I'm like murdered them all. He's not really aggressive about it. It's like he's really hyped for his job, this guy. And I don't want to spoil much, but I wish he had more like act. Yeah, I'm spoiling a lot of things. I'm spoiling a lot of things anyway. He ends up dying like really early on, even though he's like the coolest human character at least. And like I kind of wish that he was the main character of the show. Instead, the human police force, for the rest of their story arc, you're just mainly following the dude's partner, the crazy dude I'm talking about's partner, and the crazy dude's daughter, who also, like, I guess works for the police because she was really hyped about her dad killing ghouls. She wants to do it too. Back to Ken. So Ken was kidnapped for a long time and being tortured by Jason. And like Jason's like, nah, I'm gonna peel off your scalp multiple times. I'm gonna peel off your scalp so many times. Okay, the ghouls can also regenerate, they're like Wolverine or something. So like getting scalped multiple times just comes back for Ken. But I guess he gets scalped so many times his hair grows back white. Because that's how it works. Oh, Jason also puts like centipedes inside Ken's ear for some reason. It's like, nah, this is gonna be hilarious when I put a centipede inside this kid's ear. That'll make him I think Jason didn't even have a reason for all this torture. I think he just liked it. That sounds like his character. So, Ken gets tortured for a while. The coffee shop ghouls and the police finally track down all the bad ghouls, and there's like a 3-way showdown going on. And Ken ends up escaping on his own because he's finally just given up on waiting for someone else to help him. And he ends up beating down Jason really hard. The theme song plays during this fight, and it's pretty cool. I like the theme song because it's a good song, but the singer sounds like he's like crying during it all the time. It's like it's like cry singing. It's pretty great. Like I've heard some other tracks by this artist in other animes, and he also, well, the entire band has this kind of like cry singing thing going on, and it's both hilarious and maybe heartwarming is the word. Anyway, it's a great theme song. The theme song's great overall. Like, it's not groundbreaking, but I like the song. So anyway, Ken breaks out, the theme song plays while he's fighting. Ken accepts who he is as a ghoul, and then he goes from like this like really timid loser, like Tobey Maguire. He's pretty much just Tobey Maguire from the Spider-Man movies at the beginning, first half, and then after he escapes confinement, he ends up just pretty much becoming an edgelord and joining the bad ghouls because he's like, okay, I'll join these guys because they got their stuff together, and if I join them, I can make sure that they don't do anything too bad. And then the second half of the story happens. It's just, I don't know, it's not as fun as the first half. Like, the first half was really hype, the second half just like, eh. But it has a decent ending, I guess. And that's Tokyo Ghoul. Get hype for it. They eat people. I don't like knees. I like little green ghouls and milk steak.